Power air fryer, extra large. I pretty much wore out my George Foreman contact grill. It's just too hard to clean, so I thought I would evolve to air cooking. What I purchased has the air fryer, which this is the large, extra large model, and it holds 5.3 quarts of food. It also has a divider piece in there that you can slide in and out so you can cook 2 different types of food at once. It has a cooking kettle, which we'll have to experiment with. A bottle, so you fill it halfway up with your favorite oil, and then you can just lightly mist food before cooking it. I don't think I'll need that, but it's interesting. It has a recipe book, owner's manual, and quick start guide. Get out, put your thumb here, or put your other hand there, and pull it out. Ensure you don't push this button under here while you're pulling it out. And it says always make sure the basket's on a flat surface. And then once it's on a flat surface, you slide this plastic guide forward, then you push the red button and just lift. And you see my basket has a divider. It just allows you to cook 2 items at once. Snaps back in. Let me show you underneath. It has a heating element much like a burner, and then it has a fan up there. I don't know if you can see through. So it heats the air and blows the hot air constantly around the food to cook it. Obviously, because of the way it's made, you want to make sure you don't overfill the basket. Now, behind the device at the top, or sort of at the top, is a vent to get rid of excess steam and heat. So make sure it's not right up against the wall. Tray in, you just lift it, and you may have to like scoop it in. Pops right in. When you power it on, it comes up to the default of 370 degrees for 15 minutes. And you can just let it sit there for a couple minutes to preheat, and before you put your food in and set your temperature and time. So it's powered on. On the left side, go up and down in 1 minute increments, hold and press, and it goes faster. On the right, go up and down by 10-degree increments, and again, hold it to go faster. Press M to go through the presets. There's French fries, see cute little icons, roast, shrimp, baking for cakes and so forth, chicken, steak, or fish. Now, notice if I just go hands off for several seconds, it starts preheating. So the blue moving swirling icon obviously is the fan. The red star in the middle indicates it's preheating or cooking. If I turn it off, the fan stays on for about 20 seconds just so it can dissipate the extra heat. Then it powers off. Some chicken legs, drumsticks. I just sprinkled some Mrs. Dash spicy seasonings on there, and on 2 of them I put some Parmesan cheese. So I didn't like coat them and put them in breadcrumbs. So I'm just going to put it in here. This time I'm just going to turn it on, go to the preset until I see the image of chicken. There. It should start. It's going to cook at 360 degrees for 20 minutes. Since the drumsticks aren't stacked on top of each other, there's no need to turn. When you're cooking meat, especially poultry, make sure there's just a little bit of an air gap between each piece. 20 minutes are up. Remember, the handle could be a little hot at the very top. Slide it out onto a flat surface. And there's our chicken. It looks excellent. This is going to be thick, frozen, seasoned potato wedges. I'm going to put like half the bag in. Now, the user guide says thick French fries should cook at 400 degrees for 15 or 20 minutes. So Since these are really thick, I'm going to go ahead and go with 20 and make sure they're evenly distributed. And it's not real full. I have the larger fryer, so I could easily add the whole bag, but I won't be able to eat them all. So let me insert it, turn it on, bump up the temperature to 400. Now I'm just going to do 10 minutes. Give them a little shake with my rubber tongs. Don't want to use metal. And then cook again for another 10 minutes. Now watch the display. See how it alternates between the temperature and the minutes remaining. I have this on my oven, of course, which is sort of ironic. I'm going to turn my vent fan just on low so it doesn't make a lot of heat. Very little heat, but that will help keep my house cool. Minutes is finished. Just going to stir these up a little bit. Now you don't need to add any oil if you're using frozen products because they do have a slight coating of oil already. And I'm going to do another 10 minutes. No, 400. There we go. And it should start. Try a cooking. They're pretty crispy, so I probably could have done it a couple minutes less, but they look really good. The video gave you a great overview of the Power Air Fryer Extra Large model. Some extra tips are, this basket gets very heavy, so when your food's done, pull it out, make sure you have tons of counter space in front so you can just glide it onto the counter. And this handle could be a little hot, so when the food's done cooking, hold the handle down here. If you put your fingers up here, it can get a little warm. And note how the basket will pop up a little. They could have probably designed that a little better. So when putting it back in, put a little bit of an angle. Make sure the lip of the basket goes in first, not straight in, because it might hit that element on top. So scoop it in. Also, if you're only filling the basket like a quarter or even maybe a halfway with food, since this is the extra large model, use the shorter cooking time shown in the recommended ranges in the user guide. And if you're cooking French fries or items that are all piled on top of one another, halfway through, go ahead and stir a little bit using some plastic or rubber tongs so you don't scrape the surfaces. So I expect to use this for many years to come. And again, I hope this video was helpful. If so, please click on the like button. Thank you.